Welcome to episode 3 of Hate to See It. It's an exciting weekend. We're recording early. I'm pumped. Lots to talk about. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Sid, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. What's up with the suit, by the way?
What do you mean, what's up with the suit? We talked about this.
Did we? What is that? I don't think we did.
We discussed we're having a very serious conversation this week. It's a very professional topic, so we decided we would dress for the occasion. I got to be honest with you, I'm a little pissed off that I'm the only one that actually went through with it and wore a suit. Did you like prank me or something here?
You know what? You look good. I wear a suit 5 days a week, so it's about freaking time you wear a suit. So I'm glad you actually took this seriously.
This is bullshit. But you know what else, Sid? We don't have time for me to express my anger because my goal is to get this podcast finished under 8 hours. I know that is a bit optimistic. We have a lot to talk about. As we mentioned last week, we're going to be covering the economics of Eastern Europe. It's a very humongous topic. 8 hours, frankly, might not be enough. We might have to do a part 2 next week and do another 8 hours, but we're going to do our best. There are 196 countries to cover.
And wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot, right? But
yeah,
the listeners, the viewers, they were demanding it. And
they were.
Right after we announced it last week, my email box was just lighting up. People were just so excited that we're going to be covering this topic. I was getting so many emails with questions. Our good friend Joe Duffy in particular was sending me 10 emails a day, at least, about this topic. It's crazy, right? Who knew that Joe was just such an enthusiast for Eastern European economics? But he is. So that's the thing about Hate to See It with Mike and Sid. If you demand something, we will listen. We are here to please you.
And we will wear suits.
Absolutely, a suit on a Saturday afternoon. Well, at least I will wear a suit. It looks like you are going to the U.S. Open or something.
I can't even express my words because I'm in awe of your suit. I'm stumbling, I'm mumbling, but you look good. This is exciting. Let's go.
All right, let's dive into it. First country we're going to cover is Hungary. The economy of Hungary. Now, a lot of people don't know this. Hungary is a high-income mixed economy ranked as the 10th most complex economy according to the Economic Complexity Index. Hungary is a member of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development with a very high Human Development Index and skilled labor force with the 13th lowest income inequality in the world. Did you know that, El Cid?
I had no clue, and I'm glad you brought that up.
I think it's extremely impressive. Not a lot of people know that about Hungary. And also
Mike, let's cut this shit. All right? Let's get back to reality here.
I can't believe you're interrupting me like this.
I am. You know what? I'm tired of this topic already. I think the viewers are dropping off. We got you. We pranked you. This is not the topic.
What do you mean this isn't the topic? I prepared for this topic.
I'm
wearing a suit.
I know, but that was not the deal. You look good, though. You know what? Your performance is another level. I think the suit helps, so maybe something worked. But let's move on. Forget Eastern European. What is it? Politics, economics, whatever the hell it is. But by the way, that introduction was freaking great. What you prepared for that, the stuff you knew about Hungary and stuff like that, that was pretty cool.
Well, I was just reading from the Wikipedia article on my iPad.
God bless Wikipedia.
Yeah, absolutely.
You remember in college we used to play, what was it? It was a Wikipedia. We were across our townhouse and we had it was like 6 degrees of separation, but you had to find someone through Wikipedia, like connecting the dots. And then at the end of the day, whoever finished worse, like depending on the degree of separation, they had to take shots. Do you remember that or no? It was like
a little bit, not really though.
It was like Kevin Bacon. You know the Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
So basically, I would say like NASCAR or something else, and then you'd have to connect it. I don't remember the rules, but we tried it, and it was pretty. It was fun. We got drunk. We got wasted. I wish I knew more about it, but it reminds me.
That's probably why I don't remember it.
Yeah, because you were definitely a bigger drinker than I was
in college. Yeah.
Yeah, and even now.
Yeah. So,
I,
El Cid, what is our real topic?
I kind of just spoiled it, but go for it. I know you've been excited.
Well, tomorrow is one of my favorite events of the year. It is the Daytona 500, one of the crown jewels of motorsport. It is the biggest race on the NASCAR calendar. It is pretty much the Super Bowl of NASCAR. Um, Now, NASCAR is not as popular these days as it once was. I frankly wish it were more popular. The sport it's definitely not for everyone.
No, it's not.
Sometimes sometimes people describe NASCAR as just turning left, as if someone is just sitting in a car with the steering wheel turned to the left and pressing down on the gas pedal. Now, it's obviously a lot more difficult than that, but it's a hard sport to appreciate for most people. That said, I honestly think the Daytona 500 is one of the most exciting events of the year. I put it on the level of a Super Bowl or the Academy Awards or Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I think it's something that
Are you
even if
serious?
absolutely it's a must-see event of the year. I really think people should give it a shot. Even if you don't know what's going on, well, that's the point of this show. I want to just give people a few factoids, just a few little things to know. So if you decide to watch tomorrow, hey, maybe you know a little bit more, makes it a little bit more interesting. Maybe you have a driver now that you know a little bit about and you want to root for, just makes it a little bit more fun. Have some people over, have some snacks, cook some wings, have a
Wear a
few
mask.
beer, wear a mask, yes, socially distance, stay safe, and have a few beers and just have a good time watching the Daytona 500.
And
So
I'll be honest, Mike.
yeah,
I know you're pumped. I know you're freaking excited. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest NASCAR fan, but I'm excited for this topic because I want you to convince me why I should tune in tomorrow. Because this weekend is
yeah,
already busy. There's a lot of shit going on this weekend, but sell it to me.
yeah. So here's my pitch about how I think people should approach it, especially if you're skeptical, if you don't really know much. Maybe you've been channel flipping on a weekend and you saw NASCAR on TV and you had nothing to watch and you just put it on for a few minutes. It's like what the heck is going on? It's just people going in circles for hours on end. This is boring, and I get that. So here's what I would suggest to give this a chance. Uh, First of all, tune into the race half hour before it starts. So you can see the festivities. They'll do the driver introductions. You'll get to get a little flavor of the personalities of these drivers. Some of these interviews I think are a little bit akin to pro wrestling. Now, these are not scripted promos. These are real people. But you kind of have in NASCAR, you kind of have baby faces and heels. You kind of have certain drivers who are good guys, who are honorable, and certain drivers who try to start shit, talk trash, who maybe race a little bit on the
Some
dirty
people talk
side.
trash about going around in a circle. Interesting.
Well, people talk trash about cutting you off on the racetrack or
Okay.
bumping into you or wrecking you. There are rivalries in NASCAR. There are drivers who do not like one another. So tune in a half hour early. You'll get a little bit of flavor of that. You'll see the national anthem. There'll be a little concert going on. That kind of stuff is fun. It's like tuning in a little bit early to the Super Bowl or watching the red carpet before the Oscars. Then I would suggest you watch maybe the first 20 minutes to a half hour of the race and see if it's for you. Uh, After about a half hour, you will know, okay, this is cool. I like this. Or you won't. And it's just not going to be for you. And if it isn't, go do something else for a couple hours. It's just
And there's
not going to
plenty
be
to
your
do.
thing. There's
There's
plenty
plenty
to
to
do
do.
these days. You can watch Cobra Kai on Netflix. I don't care. You can play Warzone, whatever. But then what I would suggest to you is just keep tabs on your phone, what's going on in the race. When there are about 30 laps left in the race, put the race back on.
And
Because
how long is that 30 laps usually? How much time?
it'll be at about another half hour to 45 minutes, depending on how many crashes there are towards the end of the race.
So
And
generally,
that
it's usually like a minute per lap, you would say?
Oh, that's a good question because it's a 2.5 mile track. Yeah, maybe a minute, maybe less than a minute per lap.
Okay.
I'd have to do the math on that. But towards the end of the race, the drivers get really desperate to win this race because this is just a huge achievement, winning the Daytona 500. So they will start taking risks. And the more drivers are taking risks, the more chance there is for there to be a crash. And you don't want to see these crashes because crashes are dangerous. Crashes are dangerous. You don't want these guys to get hurt. Fortunately, there hasn't been a death in NASCAR in a long time. Drivers do get injuries from time to time. The sport has become very safe. But these crashes are, frankly, one of the reasons a lot of people tune in.
Is that why you tune in? You tune in for crashes?
No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a student of the game. I am all in on the inside baseball, so to speak, of NASCAR. But these crashes, these wrecks are spectacular. And it's just a spectacle to see. So tune in. You'll see the crashes. You'll see the finish of the race. A lot of times there's photo finishes to these races. There's a lot of passes. It's very exciting. So that's kind of my pitch of how to approach it tomorrow.
That's a good pitch. That's a good start. And my cat won't shut up because the viewers won't notice, but you and I generally record towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
We get tired. You're in the East Coast, I'm West Coast, so it's even later for you. And my cat's usually asleep. But now we're recording during the day. My cat's up. He's making noise. So I apologize if he's talking because he's a freaking talker.
I think you need to put Gato in the closet.
I'm not putting him in the closet. If he wants to talk, he's going to talk.
Ugh, hate to see it. So El Cid, before we... Yeah, that is going to be tough. That is going to be tough for me because I don't call you Sid.
No.
But you're Sid on this show.
I am freaking Sid. I am the Sid. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Do you want to just get into it? Because we already started talking about it, but we did want to just talk a little bit about what we've been up to the past week. Do you want to save that for the end of the show, or do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it at the end. I think we're on a good pace right now. We're all NASCAR. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about it.
I agree with you, El Cid.
Can you handle that? Is that going to throw you off?
No, I am prepared for this show, El Cid. As you can see,
you're wearing a freaking
I'm
suit.
dressed up.
You're big business today.
I'm big business. So what I did in preparation for this show today, El Cid, is I created a quiz of NASCAR related questions. These are multiple choice questions for you. I want to see how well you do on this quiz.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Now, you don't know much about NASCAR.
No, I do not.
Now, one of these questions I know you will know the answer to. The questions are not designed to be particularly difficult. They're kind of sort of NASCAR general knowledge questions. But if you're not a fan, you're not going to know a lot of these questions. But the idea is these will just present an opportunity for me to go through the basics of NASCAR. Okay. So you and our listeners and viewers can learn a little bit about the sport, and so that they can take that into the Daytona 500 tomorrow and have a good time watching it.
All right, hit me. Let's go.
I'll say it before we do that, just real quick.
Sid.
I gotta take Sid. God damn it. Sid.
Yeah.
I want to just get a little bit more comfortable. I'm gonna take off my tie. I'm gonna take off my jacket, if that's all right.
All right, hurry up. Come on. Who made that tie for you?
I think this was a Christmas present.
No, I'm saying who helped you put it on. I'm surprised you know how to tie a tie.
I dressed myself, believe it or not, El Cid. Sit! Wow. And
we're making some viewers right now. People, if they tune in and they speed it up, they're going to see the guy undressing. Some people might like that. You might have the Warriors of the world saying, wow, what's going on here?
I do have one other wardrobe change.
Yeah, this is hilarious. Before we go into this quiz, we got to talk about this because it's been on my mind. Do you notice what I'm wearing, by the way?
Well, you're wearing a U.S. Open hat. Is that you? That's U.S. Open tennis. I can't really read out the year. Is it like 2013, maybe?
No, I don't know. Could be. But in 2014, we went to NASCAR. A bunch of us. We were at your lake house, and we went to the Pocono. What was it 400?
Yeah, I think it was 2015 actually, but yeah.
Are you sure? It might have been four. No, it's 14. I checked my. Well, let me get into it.
No, no, no. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I was looking at pictures before this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing this shirt, this hat at the freaking race.
Oh wow.
And I was like, you know what? I know I have a hat. I don't know if I have a shirt, but I found it. I actually was dressed beforehand. I took off my clothes. I put on the hat. I put on the shirt. I was like, let me look like how I look like. Because you and I have a picture, and you're wearing that freaking hat as well that you bought at the race.
I bought this hat at the. I bought this hat at the race. That's
You
cool.
did.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. That was a good idea.
And I never liked the hat. I don't like the colors. I thought it looked like shit, but hey, you still got it. You're still wearing it, and it's fitting that we're both wearing something that we wore at 2014.
Yeah, well, this is the M&M's racing hat for the number 18 card. Is it 18 there?
Yeah, it says 18.
18 driver, Kyle Busch.
That's all. You stop.
Yeah, shut up, Gato. Kyle
Hey,
Busch is my.
Only I tell him to shut up. He's rich homie Gato. Continue.
Kyle Busch is my favorite driver, so that's why I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah, I remember you buying it. But we'll talk about the event later. But we were there. I have some things to talk about that. But yeah, that was my first experience of NASCAR. But let's go into the quiz.
All right, Sid. All right, Sid. Holy shit! This is gonna take some time for me to get used to saying Sid. It is just a force of habit. So, first question, Sid. What driver who won the Daytona 500 in 2019 and 2020 is going for his third win in a row this year? Is it A, Kyle Busch, B, Joey Logano, C, Kevin Harvick, or D, Denny Hamlin?
It is D, Denny Hamlin.
That is absolutely right, Sid. I am impressed that you got that. Is that just something you have general knowledge of, just seeing on SportsCenter or something?
Yeah, I've heard that he's trying to win his third one. It's been in Twitter and stuff like that. So that's why I knew that.
Yeah,
I love Twitter. I consume knowledge. I'm all about knowing everything that's going on, and that's one of those things. Denny Hamlin. Do you think he's gonna win? Denny.
It's kind of amazing enough that he won it twice in a row. He's actually won 3 times overall. He also won in 2016. The Daytona 500 is a very hard race to win because there is a lot of luck involved. As I mentioned earlier, there are wrecks in this race. And if you are involved in one of these wrecks, it's just sucks to be you. It's just, there's a lot of times there's just nothing you can do.
You just hate to see it.
You hate to see it. You're in one of these pileups and your day is done. So first thing you have to do is avoid being in one of those wrecks. And then you have to be in a position on the final lap where you can get your car to the front. And you're generally going to have multiple lanes of cars, at least 2 lanes of cars. You have to be in the lane that is the fastest lane, and you have to work your way up to the front. Sometimes you're just stuck in the slow lane, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So the fact that Denny Hamlin won it twice in a row is an achievement. I would personally not bet money on Denny Hamlin doing it 3 times in a row, just because I think it's just such a hard thing to do. But he's the favorite in this race. I haven't looked up the odds, but I would imagine
he's 17-2. I'm all about that Vegas money.
There you go. There you go, Sid. He just has a knack for winning. He's just really good at this kind of race. So it would be awesome. I'd love to see it if he won 3 in a row.
All right, I got 1 correct. Let's keep going. What's next?
1 for 1. Question 2. Daytona is one of 2 tracks on the NASCAR schedule where the maximum speed is restricted, where the cars top out at around 200 miles per hour. What is the other track on the circuit that has this feature? Is it Charlotte, A, B, Indianapolis, C, Talladega, or D, Bristol?
It's C.
It is C, Talladega. How did you know that, Sid?
I just know everything. You know what? I just figured, in my head, when you gave me those choices, I was trying to think which one logically could be the answer. And I just said Talladega, Ricky
Now,
Bobby.
do you know? Yes, Ricky Bobby. Do you know why that is? That the
I
cars
have
are
no clue. Why is it,
so
Mike?
so Talladega, Daytona, and Indianapolis are tracks that are classified as super speedways. That means that they're at least 2 miles long. Daytona is actually 2.5 miles long. Talladega is the longest track on the schedule at, I believe, 2 2/3 miles long.
I
So
did not know that. That I did not know.
the longer the track is, that means the longer the cars have to go on a straightaway. And the longer you're going straight, the faster your maximum speed can top out at. The longer the track, the faster the speeds.
That makes
Now,
sense.
what differentiates Talladega and Daytona from Indianapolis is those first two tracks have steep banked turns. So you'll see the cars going around the track like this, like this, and then they get to the turn, and you'll see the cars go like this, like very steep. And those banks,
Can you see that, by the way? That's the outfit. You can't see your hat, but that's what I'm wearing
yeah,
today.
yeah, nice. Yeah, so on those, when the cars are up on those banks, that allows them to go into the turns at close to maximum speed. So they basically, they almost don't, well, they do, but they almost don't have to take their foot off the gas on these turns. So they're going extremely fast around the track. Indianapolis is a flat racetrack. It doesn't have those banks. So the drivers, they have to brake into the turns on Indianapolis. So the speeds are slower on Indianapolis, even though it's also a super speedway. Now, the reason the speed is restricted at Daytona is really, it's a safety mechanism.
All right,
Because
Mike, you're going a little too much of a rant here. I get it.
hey, Sid, oh, your camera froze.
I think we got a little bad connection here.
Yeah, it's fine
Yeah,
now.
I think we got a little bad connection. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I think that's a sign. It's a sign. Let's go on to the next question. You're doing great analysis, but I get it. They go fast.
They go fast. If you're not first, you're last.
That's right. By the way, the movie with Daniel Craig and the guy from Star Wars, what racetrack was that on? Was that Charlotte?
That was Charlotte, yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
Logan
All
Lucky.
Right.
Good movie.
Yes, Logan Lucky. Check it out.
Question 3. This driver who won the Cup Series championship last year is the son of another Cup Series champion who was voted by fans as NASCAR's most popular driver a record 16 times. So this is the driver, I'm asking about the driver who won last year. Is it A, Kyle Larson, B, Chase Elliott, C, Kyle Busch, or D, Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Chase.
It is Chase Elliott. Yeah.
Wow, I'm 3-4-0. You love to see it. Are you shocked?
I am impressed. Sid, I have to say. Yeah,
I'm stumping the guru here.
His father was Bill Elliott, who was a very popular driver, and he won the NASCAR championship in 1988. So you're 3 for 3. Question 4, let's keep it going. This driver who retired last year won consecutive championships from 2006 through 2010 and is the only driver to win 5 consecutive championships. A, Jimmy Johnson, B, Jeff Gordon, C, Dale Earnhardt, D, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
This one might stump me because I know Jeff retired earlier than last year, I think. Was it Junior?
It's not Junior. It was
Jimmy
Johnson. Jimmy Johnson.
The first one.
I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised you didn't know that one.
Yeah, I was gonna go either Jimmy or Dale. but I went Dale. But I think he retired like a couple years ago, not last year.
Junior, yeah, he retired a few years ago.
And guess what?
And so
Junior won when we went.
Junior did.
2014.
He won the Pocono that year that we won.
And you know what?
That was
That's pretty
actually
cool. That's pretty cool because as someone who's first live event who doesn't watch NASCAR, it's cool that I got to see one of the greats win it.
Yeah, that is really cool. He was a really popular driver when he was racing, and the crowd was really happy about that win. It was just a cool experience. All right, keeping it moving still. Number 5, this driver, nicknamed the Intimidator, died in a tragic crash on the final lap of the 2001 Daytona 500. A, Richard Petty. B, David Pearson. C, Bobby Allison. D, Dale Earnhardt.
So Intimidator. Wait, give me those choices again.
Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, Dale Earnhardt.
I'm going Dale. I'm going with the father.
It was Dale Earnhardt. It was a tragedy. It really shook the world. It was on the last lap of the race. His car got loose and went straight into the wall. The reports were that he died instantly. And he's one of the greats of all time. He won the championship 7 times. Rest in peace. He won the Daytona 500 twice. This spurred a lot of safety improvements in NASCAR. There's now something called a Hans device that is mandatory, which is a head restraint. There's these barriers called safer barriers around the racetracks. And they even designed a new car called the Car of Tomorrow to make racing more safe. And fortunately, there has not been another death since that one.
Good to know.
And last year, I don't know if you remember this, there was a driver named Ryan Newman who was in a horrific crash. You remember seeing this?
Oh, I do remember hearing about this. Yep.
And he went to the hospital. His car went up into the air. And when it was coming down, another car crashed into the driver's side of his car at full speed. It's like, how did he survive this? He basically walked away from it. He did go to the hospital, was discharged with minor injuries. I thought he was dead when it happened. A lot of people thought he was dead. I don't think he would have survived if it weren't for the safety improvements. It's really a miracle.
Is this the last question?
There are actually a few more questions.
I'm off to a good start.
You are off to a good start. You are. What are you? We've gone through 5. You're 4 for 5.
Yes.
All right. There's 4 more. This driver won the Daytona 500 a record 7 times. Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, or Dale Jarrett.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one.
Well, I already told you why. If you were paying attention, I already told you who it's not.
Yeah.
One of the answers you can eliminate.
Good point. I'm going Richard Petty.
That's right. That's right. Richard Petty
nice.
is regarded by most as the greatest driver of all time. He drove in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He won 200 races in his career, which is a record.
Oh, that's crazy.
Number 2 is 105. So that's one of those records that will never be caught. It'll never be caught. He was kind of like the Babe Ruth of NASCAR.
Wow. He's the Nadal of tennis.
He's the Federer.
I bought this hat when I went to U.S. Open. I watched Nadal beat Djokovic in the finals. Great match.
Are you following the Australian Open right now?
I sure am, yeah. Djokovic is hurt. He may not play the next match. Nadal is doing pretty well, but yeah, I'm definitely following it. I love Australia. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's just so tough to watch because of the time difference.
It is.
All right, so you are 5 of 6.
Right,
I'm very impressed. Number 7. There are 36 races on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule.
I'm sorry, folks. I think we're having some technical difficulties today. It's crazy. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. You're here. You're okay now, and I'm actually getting a message.
Let's keep going.
that there's only 3 minutes left of the meeting time, and we're supposed to have unlimited time. So I don't know why it's saying that. So we might have to stop this in 3 minutes and start it over again, but hopefully that doesn't happen.
I think it's your Wi-Fi, Mike.
Maybe. There are 36 races on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule.
Mike, you gotta fix your Wi-Fi. What is this? You got the cheap shit?
I have good Wi-Fi.
Can you hear me? You gotta fix this Wi-Fi. What is this?
I'm having no connection problems right now.
I think it's your Wi-Fi.
There's nothing wrong with my Wi-Fi.
No, but I think it's you because you've been a different location the first 2 episodes. Now the third episode you're somewhere else. I'm still in the same place. You gotta upgrade your Wi-Fi, bro.
No, it's not my Wi-Fi. Let's just keep it going. I'll say it's working fine.
It's your Wi-Fi. I'm telling you.
What do you want me to do? There's nothing I can do about it now.
I'm gonna Venmo you some money. You'll upgrade it later. Just let's go.
Okay. All right. There are 36 races on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Out of these 36, when does the Daytona 500 take place? Is it the first race of the season, the last race of the season, the 18th race of the season, or the 26th race of the season? This
one I have no freaking clue. I'm gonna guess first.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know. I'm surprised you had to guess. It is the first race of the season. NASCAR is kind of unique among sports where the crown jewel, like the biggest race of the year, is not the last race of the year, it's the first race of the year.
All right.
It's kind of interesting. Number 8, Dale Earnhardt, who we've talked about, he won the NASCAR championship 7 times and won the Daytona 500 in 1998. How many times did his son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., win the Cup Series championship? 0, 1, 2, or 3? This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Junior. 2.
No, he actually never won the overall NASCAR championship. Now the NASCAR championship is it takes place over the course of the whole season of 36 races. You accumulate points, and then after 26 races, certain drivers make what's called the NASCAR playoffs, and that takes place over the last 10 races. And Junior never won that, but he did win the Daytona 500 2 times. So he won it. He actually won that race more than his father did, which is kind of interesting. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., although he was a very good driver, a very popular driver, he was not nearly as successful a driver as his father. Now, here's the last question, Sid, which I'm assuming you know the answer to this. I'd be shocked if you don't know the answer to this. I'm not going to even give you choices. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This Hall of Fame NFL coach owns a NASCAR team, which fields drivers such as Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr.
Gibbs Racing.
Yep, it's Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs is the only person on planet Earth who has won a Super Bowl, has won a NASCAR championship, and is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I was 6 for 8, I think. I got only 2 wrong. I really don't know what the hell is going on. We got bad connection today. We got cut off. Now we're recording again. Our viewers are not gonna be pleased. But we gotta fix this for next week, Mike. I don't know. Well, what's going on?
I don't know what happened. Zoom, as people might know, puts a 40-minute limit on meetings unless you pay them. But that is supposed to only apply if there are more than 2 people on a meeting. Now, it's obviously just the 2 of us. And last week we had a podcast on Zoom that went over 50 minutes and it didn't cut us off. So it should not have cut us off. I don't know what the hell happened.
But that doesn't explain the connection. The connection's still piss poor too.
Sid, the connection issue is your camera froze. I never froze.
But it's your connection. You're in a different place today.
I have 5 bars of Wi-Fi.
It's the same place.
I have 100 megs a second. It's not me.
I have 350.
It's just bad. You know what it is? I bet. Actually, I think I probably know the answer. You know what it is?
What?
What's another difference besides the location? What's another difference between this episode and the other episodes?
Here we go. It's freezing again. I don't know what.
The time of day. We're recording earlier. This is more peak time as opposed to later at night.
I don't
There's
get
more
it.
people using the internet.
Either way, I'm not happy. We gotta figure this out. Let's keep going.
All right, we were actually just about done with the NASCAR topic. I was just finishing up. I was mid-sentence, just finishing up about Joe Gibbs, how he's been so successful in two sports and he's in two Hall of Fames. But I was basically done with with what I was saying. I was really impressed how well you did on that quiz, El Cid. You got 7 out of 9 questions right. Did you learn anything from this quiz?
I learned that I am the guru. It doesn't matter what the topic is, I'm gonna bring it. That's what I learned. But no, you did a really good job. Honestly, you definitely know what you're talking about. I was actually impressed in the depth you went into the questions and the stuff you brought it after the fact. You weren't just asking me questions, you were providing value. And as someone who's not the biggest NASCAR fan, I think you did a really good job.
I appreciate that. And my hope is that if you're not a NASCAR fan, I just gave you a little bit of information that you can take into tomorrow and give the Daytona 500 a shot, and hopefully you can have a good time with it.
I agree. Before we switch topics, again, I want to talk about when we went to NASCAR. It was like 5, 6 of us. Dirk was there, Greg was there, JD. Who else? Was that it? I think, right? Am I missing anyone? Was Scalise there?
I don't think so.
Duffy?
I don't think so.
Maybe Duffy was there, but he's a forgettable person.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But
let me just tell you my experience, right? First time going there. You guys tell me we each have to have a cooler because each of us have to bring our own beer in. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I pack it full of beer. We get there, we make some delicious burgers. Everything's going well. Now I'm watching the race live. It is freaking loud. They keep telling us before the race, you need earplugs, right? And I'm like, that's bullshit. I've been to a lot of sporting events. I'm not gonna need it. I was wrong. If you go to a NASCAR event, you need earplugs. Do not think you do not need them because it was so freaking loud. I was dying, Mike. I'm drinking beers. It was a freaking hot day. And you know what? I felt like I was delusional. I don't know what it was, but that was the first time I was at a sporting event where I had the biggest migraine. Maybe it's the day drinking, but like, I just couldn't wait to go home. And afterwards, we're stuck in the freaking parking lot. And I was so pissed. I think I was yelling at you. I'm like, get us home, get us home. My head was throbbing. No one was moving. I was miserable. I was so pissed. I think Greg too. We just were dying. It's just like, I think you went the wrong way. I was like, why are you going this way? Not going this way. And I was furious. I just wanted to get home. But overall, besides that terrible migraine, it was a cool experience. And I'm glad we got to do it. And I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember who the celebrity announcers were that day?
Ooh, that's a good trivia question. I don't think I do. I know I'm going to remember it when you tell me.
So they were releasing 22 Jump Street.
Oh,
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, yeah. I remember that.
But what was cool is because my good family friend is Channing's personal trainer and like one of his best friends. And he was there. He flew in with Channing to go to Daytona to, kick off the event. And what's cool about that is when you first moved down to the lake house, right? Like I remember for years, one of, that family friend, they kept telling me how they're building this mansion at the lake. They kept telling us, and I was pumped. I was pumped to one day see this lake house. And then I didn't know exactly where it was because there's freaking millions of lakes. It could be anywhere, right? I had no clue. I just knew he built this lake house. One day I'm going to see it. So now we're going to your parents' lake house. And then your parents are there. And they're talking about how there's an Armenian family that owns this big house. You remember this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait. Armenian family, big lake house. Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, they live like right down there. I'm like, are you serious? What are the odds that my really good friend had a house under your house? Like, how's that? Like, it's just crazy. And I don't know if you remember, but you and I took the golf cart. We went down to their house. They had a gate. We knocked. It was them. And they were shocked to see me as well because just the coincidence. It was just crazy. that your parents picked a place that happened to be where my family friend's house was. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was really cool. That they have an incredible house,
They sure do.
an amazing lakefront view.
But what's cool, and I'll stop, was so my friend who, Arnie, but Aaron, who's the trainer of Channing.
Why do you always have to name drop? Why do you always have to name drop, Sid?
Because I'm a popular person. Because you know what happened? This guy first trained me. I gave him the confidence to move up to become a superstar. He left New York. He said, I trained the Sid. I can do better things now. And he went to Hollywood. He chased the dream. Now he's training them all. Now he's the guru. So pretty cool that I, close friends through our family with someone that is like best friends with Channing, and he's all over Channing's Instagram. It's pretty awesome. Like imagine you and I became best friends with like a celebrity, and we just chilled with them, like whenever the hell we wanted. You got to give him props.
Absolutely. You mentioned how loud it was at the race. That is the one thing that catches people off guard. They don't realize is it probably the loudest thing like you've ever heard?
Yes, 100%.
It is so loud. Just think about if you've ever been to a concert and you were on the lawn really close to the stage and this was just a really loud concert. This is nothing.
It's even louder.
It's way louder. It's way louder. You need earplugs. If you don't have earplugs, you're going to literally hurt your ears.
Oh, yeah. Like one of the worst migraines I've had. The combination, the heat, the loud, the beers. I was giving JD my beer because I couldn't finish.
That's the one thing people that go to a race for the first time, that's certainly the first thing that they mention. The other thing is seeing the cars in person, how fast they go, I think is incredible.
It is.
Wouldn't you
incredible.
agree? Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? The best moment, I don't know if you noticed, you probably don't notice, but growing up, I used to play the NASCAR games because of Jeff Gordon. And it was pretty incredible that I got to see him race that day.
Yeah, he was still racing at the time. Yeah.
Yep. And
he was very popular.
That I got to see that. That was pretty cool.
And we saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. win. So, yeah, it was a good day other than your migraine.
Yep. Oh, I was pissed. Greg will vouch. We both just had terrible headaches, and we just couldn't get out of the parking lot.
Yeah, that's common with a lot of sporting events, especially in the New York, New Jersey area. Like getting out of Giant Stadium is just or MetLife Stadium is just a nightmare.
Oh my God. I used to hate going to Steeler games in freaking against the Jets. It was miserable getting out.
Yeah. Hate to see it.
You truly do. But it's an exciting weekend. We got a lot going on. It's not just NASCAR, Mike. We got, let's see. We have the pay-per-view tomorrow night. Next,
NXT.
Next. NXT, baby. You think it's not a good card? I think it's a good card. I'm pumped. One of my favorite wrestlers, actually, Dunn, is fighting, so I'm pumped about that. But tonight, UFC 258. That's going to be a good fight. I'm pretty pumped about that. You don't watch UFC, right?
I don't really watch UFC. Tell me a little bit about this event, though, because I don't really know anything about it.
You know what? I'm going to save it because of one day, today what you did is you told the folks about NASCAR, right? So one day I would like to do an episode about UFC because I used to hate it. I used to not pay attention to it. Now that I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So one day we'll do that. We'll talk about, UFC. Maybe I'll have one of my boys who's a huge fan on that episode as well. We'll see. We never know. But
that sounds good.
It's a big fight. It's Usman versus Burns. Usman's going to win. But again, let's not talk about that. But also that's going on. What else is going on, Mike? I think there's more stuff I'm forgetting about.
Well, I still got to watch WandaVision, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's true. Good episode.
I think after the season concludes, we should do a WandaVision episode, just a recap of the whole season.
Yeah, why not? I'm really impressed with what they're doing. They're definitely setting up phase 4. So we'll talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
I think Clarice is on CBS this weekend as well. The Hannibal TV series about Clarice. I'm going to check that out.
I forget if we had this conversation. I might have told you this. I'm not sure. I was doing a little deep dive into Clarice because I had never heard of it until I started seeing the commercials. And obviously it's Clarice. It's like, oh, this is Silence of the Lambs. This is Hannibal. And so the first question I had was, is this show connected at all to the NBC series Hannibal? And
It is
it's not.
not. It's
It's
not.
not. That was a great show. You like that show?
Hannibal, fantastic. People are tweeting all over. They want Hannibal back. We need it back. Give us one more. Give us two more. We need more Hannibal. But that was the thing, Mike. What was going on is they had the rights to Hannibal,
Yeah.
like Red Dragon. They didn't have the rights to Clarice, which does not make sense to me.
It's so bizarre.
Like,
so
what the fuck?
They have the rights to the Clarice character. They're not allowed to reference Hannibal. They're not allowed to reference any storylines from Silence of the Lambs.
Would you?
But here's the thing. They are, because the commercials they're intentionally reminding you of Silence of the Lambs, but they're not saying it. So it's just, they have to like kind of dance around it. I think they're supposedly going to be kind of vague about Clarice's background. Like she had this traumatic event in her past, but they're not going to specify what it was. It just seems like a horrible idea to me.
It's things like this where the fans get hurt, right? You're screwing the fans. Make a deal. Give us the best. Don't withhold stuff. Like, work together. Like, get over yourselves.
Yeah,
like,
just
really.
like when they brought Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think we need a Hannibal universe, a united Hannibal universe on television.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's on Netflix right now. Check out Hannibal. Fantastic.
But one of your favorite actors, right?
Yes, I love him. He's a great actor. He's in Casino Royale. He was in the video game. That was okay, but yeah, great actor.
Death Stranding.
Yep, Death Stranding.
He was in Rogue One.
Yep. What I really hate about this is this is the reason I'm watching Clarice, because I'm intrigued, but also I was forced to pay $5 a month for CBS All Access. And you're gonna ask me, why was I forced? So I pay like $300, Mike, to watch the Steeler games, right?
Yeah.
On DirecTV.
That's a lot.
But when it's what?
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. So I pay all that money, and it's like a few weeks a year, like maybe 3 or 4 games I can't watch because of freaking blackout rules. So why am I paying all this money and I can't watch a game? So I have to freaking pay money for the CBS app to watch the games I can't watch on DirecTV. It makes no sense to me. But anyway, I was going to cancel it last month, but I was like, Clarice is starting in February. So now I kept it just to check out this show. It's on CBS. I'm not expecting big things, but I'll check it out. So that's another thing happening this weekend. Something else, NASCAR related. Did you know, I think it's this weekend, they're releasing a NASCAR TV series comedy on Netflix?
Somehow this did not make it onto my radar. I had no idea about this.
It's called The Crew. It's on Netflix. It's with is it Kevin Smith? No, it's Kevin James.
Oh, okay.
So it's his next, not big thing, but his next series, right? But he didn't want to keep doing the same character he's always been doing. So it's completely different than his other shows. So he's going to be like, I don't know his role, but maybe you should check it out. I mean, you're a NASCAR fan.
Is it on Netflix right now, or when does it come on?
It might be. It might be, yeah. It might.
I do want to check that out. I like Kevin James. I would definitely check that out.
It's I think it's this weekend. Definitely check it out. The Crew.
Thanks for letting me know about that.
Of course. See, I'm bringing something to the table about NASCAR you didn't know.
Love to see it.
That's why it's cool that we have you and myself, because even though we're friends, we like different things, right?
Yeah,
through this podcast, we can tell people about what we like, what you may like, and we can expand other people's minds about things they should check out.
Yeah, I hope we did that today with NASCAR. I hope we do that every week. That's
the goal. What else? What are you excited for this weekend?
Well, we had an episode last week about video games. I've been playing video games lately. As I mentioned, I've been playing Horizon. I have a PS5 that I talked about last week. PS5 comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive. I already filled that thing up. These games these days are so big. A lot of them are over 100 gigabytes. So you really can't fit that many gigs. So I ordered an external hard drive off of Amazon. It just came to me today. I just hooked it up, and it was super easy to hook up. I installed God of War to it. It installed
Nice.
really quick. I loaded it up. It loaded up right away, but I didn't have a chance to try it out. So right after this podcast, I think I'm going to try it out. I talked about that boss fight where I was getting my ass kicked.
Yes.
I want to try it again because I was watching a streamer. I was actually watching David Jaffe stream it, and David Jaffe, you know who he is. He's the original creator of God of War, the
Yep.
PlayStation 2 game. But he didn't have any involvement in this most recent God of War. He decided he was going to play the game, and he had some trouble with this boss fight. I think it is, he died, I think, one time, but people were telling him in the Twitch stream what to do. And once they told him what to do, you have to block this guy's punch at a certain time and then attack him immediately after that. Once they told him that, it looked like it was pretty easy. I think I just didn't know that little trick.
It is easy. That's why I'm surprised.
Yes, I just want to see if I can do it.
You better, because I honestly think it's not a real boss fight. I think it's like an intro boss fight where they kind of baby you along the way. It's not like the traditional first boss fight of the game, if that makes sense. But I'm hoping you'll kick his ass this week.
Yeah, but something funny happened to me this morning, Sid. So I get this package with the hard drive in it from Amazon. There's another package waiting for me. It has my address on it. It's from Amazon. I didn't order this thing. Amazon sent me a package that I didn't order.
I am intrigued. What?
It is
what the hell?
Aero Garden, an in-home garden system. I did not order this.
It was addressed to you?
Yeah, it's addressed to me. I don't want my address on the podcast, but you can see my name right here.
Well, you do have a very generic name. There's a lot of Mike Smiths there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's got my exact address on here. And
did you start like an OnlyFans maybe, and people are buying you gifts?
Yeah, maybe it's a listener or a viewer who likes the show and just sent me this gift. But so I was a little concerned. I was like, why am I getting this? I started Googling it. Well, the first thing I did was I checked Amazon. I checked to see if I had accidentally ordered something. No, I didn't.
You accidentally ordered a plant thing.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I just felt it was worth checking out. Next thing I did was I checked my credit cards to see if someone had stolen my credit card number. Nope, that didn't happen either. So then I start Googling, and the results that come up are like, there's like some scam. I forget what it's called. It's like, I think it's called brushing or something like that, where companies send products to people that they didn't order. And then they are able to, Amazon will recognize that as a verified purchase. And then they will put a 5-star review on the Amazon website. It's like a scam so that they can get better reviews for their products. So I was like, okay, am I a victim of this scam? But I don't think that's the case, because I looked this up on Amazon. This is a $100 product. I opened up the box. The product is in there. The product is in there. This is a $100 product. I don't think you would send someone a free $100 product for that kind of stupid scam.
Can you return this and get like $100 credit?
No. As far as I know, no, because there's no record of a purchase. Then the other thing I was reading about is like, oh, you want to make sure it's not like some drug mule, like make sure there's no drugs in there or anything, like so someone's like trying to smuggle drugs. So thankfully there's no drugs in the package. Right? I don't want anyone to spreading rumors like that. So based on what I found is like, people are just like, just keep it, because Amazon is going to make you pay for shipping to send it back to them. I'm not gonna pay for shipping.
No, screw that.
I don't think it was actually some kind of scam, because I was looking at the shipping label. It came from the same shipping center as my other package. So, and it came at the same time as my other package. So my guess is that it was an error at the shipping facility. They must have just printed 2 labels and put the wrong label on somebody else's package. That's my best guess as to what happened.
Oh, that's a good guess. I don't know if you remember this. When I moved out to California, I was saying, since weed is legal here, I should keep sending you weed to New Jersey so you could sell it and make a shit ton of money for us. And you were going to be my drug mule. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
So maybe this is the start of a beautiful financial relationship.
Well, we legalized it here too, in Jersey.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We weren't really gonna do that, by the way, folks, but it was a joke. I was telling Mike I was gonna send him random gifts, but that's a cool story.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It is. I would see if you could sell that. Maybe you can, because I think there's an Amazon Marketplace. Maybe you could potentially sell it for like $80 or something, make a profit.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Or it might just like
And
it might just be like a decent gift. I might just keep it around. Like I need to, if there's some wedding I don't want to go to, I don't really know the couple that well or something. It looks like it's pretty nice. It's a home garden system. It's
if
a good
Scalise
gift.
gets married again, you can give it to him.
Yeah, third time's the charm, right?
That's right. Or Castano when he gets married. That'll be
That's
perfect
exactly what I'm gonna do. Castania,
yes.
if you're listening, this is your wedding gift. I hope you like it.
Congratulations. That's another thing. We'll talk about one day. I hate weddings. I don't know what it is, especially because people don't get this. For me to come to a wedding in the East Coast, it's like $1,000 almost sort of flight. You're gonna buy a gift. You gotta get a hotel. It's a freaking headache.
Yeah.
The best wedding I've ever been to was Scalise's wedding that was virtual. I was wearing no t-shirt. I was playing video games, watching him get married. It was a beautiful thing. I want more virtual weddings because I can get drunk. Like I can get drunk at a wedding. I don't have to get a gift. I can just chill. It was perfect.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of virtual weddings during the pandemic. I don't think it's the same though. I don't think most people that's what they dream of. But
yeah, people like it. But if I get married, if Ashley and I get married, it'll be like in Hawaii. We would do like a Hawaiian wedding, just few people. You'd probably miss the cut. I'm sorry.
The idea of Hawaii, of a wedding in Hawaii sounds amazing, but there are places that you could pick where you could get a similar atmosphere. Yeah. And Hawaii is just such a fucking pain in the ass to fly to. I mean, not as much for you, but for East Coast people, it is just such a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. I know. That's why I don't like weddings. But if I did it, it'd be something intimate, somewhere cool. And maybe Hawaii's too, not cliche, but yeah, maybe we'll do something different. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, no, this is a good conversation. We covered a lot of ground, and I think you did a really good job with NASCAR.
You too, Sid. I think we're starting to get into a groove.
We are.
I'm going to have to figure out how to edit the two halves of this show together. But I think I should be able to do that. I wish you
luck. You know what you should do? Sell that freaking plant, get some money, upgrade your Wi-Fi. There you go. Problem solved.
You know, we haven't really had any issues since we restarted the Zoom meeting.
We have not.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just
because if we had more issues, I was gonna get heated.
Maybe there was just something with the first meeting.
It's possible.
I don't know, but in any event, I think we can let the viewers go. Thank you for tuning in. We'd appreciate it if you enjoy the show to like and subscribe and tell people about the show. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
And if you got any comments, what you want to see, please say it. If we'll talk about whatever you guys want. Let us know.
Yeah, just drop a comment and let us know. All right, Sid, take care.
Time out. We can't stop. Prediction, who's winning tomorrow? We talked about a whole NASCAR episode, and we made no predictions.
Oh, see, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to. I don't want to.
No, you got to say it. You have to do it.
All right, Kyle Busch is going to win his first Daytona 500 tomorrow.
Okay, so my thought process. What's his name? Kozlowski. I don't think he's ever won, right? From what I know.
Brad Keselowski.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I
think you're right. I think you're right that he has not won the Daytona 500.
So I was thinking him, but I don't know. I think I'm going Kyle Larson. That's my pick.
Well, I don't think we have the time to get into that this episode, but he is coming back after being suspended for the majority of last season. He was involved in a little bit of controversy. He's a very talented driver, though. It's not a bad pick at all.
All right, cool. Have a good weekend, folks. Thanks, Mike.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care, Sid.
Burn 'em.